Yeah, this is Emil Cadlick from FantasyNation.com, and I wanted to go through a few of the stages to create an account, put your rankings in for those who haven't finished it yet or have some questions. Initially, when you go to FantasyRanker.com, if you're not logged in, it'll switch to the login page. So if you've already got an account, you can log in. If not, you can come down here and create an account. And after you create an account, you'll have to go back to the URL at the top and go back to Ranker. It doesn't have a link to it. I apologize. So let's assume we've created an account. And during the create account process, you'll send an email and a validation code that you put in, so it makes sure that you are who you are. So I'm going to hit login here, and now I'm at Ranker. And when you have no rankings, you'll have the option of, right now it's highlighted on the 2019 draft. You can switch to week 1 or dynasty, and you can do that once you get in too. Initially, I already have rankings in, so it's just going to my rankings. It'll say something like, get the consensus of the experts. And of course, if you're going to be loading rankings in, you just hit OK and you can load your rankings in. So I'll show you that in a second. So I'm gone to the draft rankings. Now, the accuracy is done by PPR for running backs, wide receivers, tight ends. So I'm going to click PPR. So I'm going to start with PPR, which is probably a good idea because that's what the accuracy starts with. And you've got the three main ones: running back, wide receiver, and tight end. All right, let's start with the running backs under the PPR rankings for draft. Of course, this should be consistent with weekly or dynasty. And I already have a set of rankings that I could modify, but obviously most people want to start with their importing their own rankings. So we've got an import function. Go over to my Excel file here, and let's grab some running backs. Typically, you'd like to do a column of ranking position, the player, and the team name. That's pretty much the better way to do things. Okay, what have I done wrong now? Okay, wow, that went fast, didn't it? Let's go to the top 100, and we're going to hit the submit button. And then typically you'll see, white like this, unless there's an error, it doesn't understand a player, or there's a duplicate. And it doesn't appear we have any duplicates, and of course this doesn't work. Let's move that. And we're going to hit import running backs. And it has now imported the running backs. And if you can see here, there's a difference now. So it's telling me what difference it was from my previous running backs. So I'm going to hit the submit button to put those live. And you can see it's going to change the running backs, and it's going to change the flex. And I'm going to hit the publish, and now it's cleaned up and everything's set. So I've gone in and I've updated the running backs. Let's quickly go to receiver. Let's see if we can do all this without boring you guys too much or me messing up. Let's go to the receivers. We'll do 120 receivers, let's just say. And so we're back here. We're going to import again. We're going to hit this. We're going to hit submit. And we're going to just glance through here. Everything is clean as a whistle. If you'll see, sometimes they'll see a player that it's duplicated if they have the same first and last name and team. And you can select here which one you want, and we'll hit the import. And again, we see the differences there. We're going to hit publish and wide receivers flex. And we'll go to tight ends and see if I can't import tight ends without making a mistake with only 1 cup of coffee. I'm going to put in about 30 tight ends. And hit this button, hit the submit. And everything looks clean. We'll hit that. So there's those. Now, you don't see quarterbacks on PPR because they're under standard. Kind of annoying, but it is. Also, the kickers and the defense are under standard. Now, the accuracy rankings only includes running backs, wide receivers, tight ends in PPR, and the quarterbacks. It doesn't use defense and kickers. Now, we will rank those so people will be able to tell how well you are at those. So let's go to quarterbacks. Let's see if I can find them on my list that I have. And there they are. Let's just do 30 quarterbacks. And we're going to come back here. We're going to import those. And I'll show you something here that's a little different. And there you see they're nice and clean. Now I'm going to back up. And I'm going to do the quarterbacks without the rank number. Just the name and the team. And let's see what that does. And it seemed to be pretty happy with that. Then let's just do another one. Let's just take the players. You know, the optimal is to have the 3 columns, but let's see what happens here. Seems to be happy with all the options, which is nice. Gives you some variability if you're in a hurry. So we've updated that. So now we've updated the main positions: quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end. We've done the wide receiver, running back, tight end under PPR, and the quarterback under standard. So you've set, oh, what is that? Oh, okay. I've got to update my standard. I forgot to do that. Bonk. And notice it's going to be updating the, oh, I forgot to update tight ends too. So it's doing the tight ends and the flex under PPR because I forgot to do that. Thank you for reminding me. Oh, great software. So that's the start for getting your rankings in. And again, that's how you do it for the draft here in preseason. Of course, weekly every week you'll be doing that also. I can change to weekly right now and go to PPR. And again, weekly rankings or accuracy rankings are done by PPR. So you have the same thing: quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends under PPR, and then go back and do quarterbacks and defense and kickers if you want to. So that works again for each week during the regular season.